Hi, welcome to my craft room. Carol Gatton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and these are some verses that would be very suitable for a masculine card. I'm using the basic gray for my card base, and the measurements are 5.5 by 4 1/4. You want to score that, fold it, and then you will be opening this up, and we will be doing our cutting on the inside. You're going to place that at 1 1/4 on your trimmer, and you're going to notice that I have put washi tape on the arm of my trimmer, and the first piece is at 3/4 of an inch. You want to cut that up to that mark, and then you will lift up your arm and you will move your blade over to 3 1/2. And there I have washi tape once again. Line it right up at that 3 1/2. Now put your arm down. You want to make sure too that you keep that straight on the 1 1/4. And now just cut it all the way to the edge. And look how that is giving, because you have cut into that front of your card. You can cut off that extension on the back right at your fold line, and then you'll see that how that gives. Now you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to begin to mold and shape this into a collar. Can you see how I'm just kind of rubbing that back and forth, and I'm working from the center out. And at this point, I don't have quite enough give, so I'm going to just take my thumb and fingers once again and just begin to mold this. Now your peaks at the top will come into the center, and at this point, don't take your finger and just push that down. You want to gently mold that. Just by rubbing that in a circular motion makes such a difference. This is basic gray ink pad, and I'm taking my sponge, and first I'm doing the inside, and then what is the back side here will become the inside. So you want to sponge all the way around this cut edge. And so hold that so that you're not touching the other part of your cardstock, and just continue to work your way around. Now I know this looks just a little dark, but once this dries, it's amazing how it will just blend right in with that cardstock. This is the only part that's tricky, is getting in right here. So gently fold the base of that down so that you can get in. And you're just kind of bringing that straight across so that you get your ink onto that edge. And now you're going to go all the way around the whole outer portion of the front panel. And when you get around to where it has your fold line, you want to take and fold that back, and so that this ink shows on the front side. And this is really important because I've done it both ways just to see the difference, and this shadowing makes such a difference. It just kind of brings this cardstock to life. Okay, now this little portion here is our pocket, and it is a 1-inch square. And just to give it a little more style, I'm going to cut away the peaks on the two bottom portions for my pocket. And you're welcome to take your ruler and draw that if you feel like you need that as a guide, but it's pretty simple just to eye up. Once again, you want to go around this, and you can tell I'm putting quite a bit of ink. And now just take your thumbs and mold it on your fingers, and that'll bring it to life. Our tie is going to be our maritime cardstock, and I am going to draw a line here just to make this a little bit more visual, as to help me in cutting this out. Now your front, this is the front, and this measures 1 1/4 by 4 inches, and our knot is 1 1/4 by 1/2. Now find the center and make a teeny little snip so that your scissors can fit right into there, and then just cut right out to the edge. And I'm going to go just a little bit beyond, just to show you what to do if you overcut. Don't cut your peak away. Go just a little bit higher than that, and then just match up the two. Very, very easy to do. And now where I've got this line to follow, and that's 1/4 of an inch on each side, you can take your ruler and draw that line, or just eye it up. And so I'm just going to eye it up, and I'm going to the very edge of where I've just cut off, and then just repeat that on the opposite side. And there we have it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut off just a sliver, and I'll show you what a sliver is. Can you see? It's just a tiny little bit. That's going to go under your knot. And then to just bring this tie to life a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of body to that. Okay, and now once again we're putting this on the back of our fingers and we're folding and molding this in. And it just takes just a few little curves because this is designer paper, so it gives very easily. And can you tell it almost looks like a funnel? And that's the shape you're looking for, is you want that top portion to really fold in and the outer portion to kind of buckle out. I'm using a half a dimensional and I'm putting it in the center of this tie knot. And now you see why it was important to cut off that sliver. Okay, and I don't want that all the way to the top, but almost. And you still have a chance to reshape this a little bit if it needs it. And it looks like to me on my one side I need to bring it out just a little, so it's real easy. Just take your fingers and just gently mold that. Remember, you're not doing hard folds, you're molding. And so put a glue dot so that it extends beyond the edge of that cardstock and it'll catch the other side. Hey, beginning to look like a tie, isn't it? Okay. Next, we're going to make a tie pin. Our candy dots come in each and every color family, and there are 10 of each color. We also have the candy brads, and I'm going to put that into my paper piercing mat just to make it easy to add this onto this tie. I think the white looks like the color to go with. So you lift this up just like you would a rhinestone or you would one of the pearls. It has a glue dot on the back, and that's going to catch it into this little brad. And so next we just need to pierce a hole, and we don't want that to be too high. This isn't the 40s and 50s, so bring it down a little bit and then put that in. And if you need to turn that so that your prongs are going up and down, turn it so that that's the direction it's going. Okay, next we're going to use 2 of our dimensionals, and one's going to go on the top prong and the next one is going to go right there in that tiny little V of your tie knot. Pull off the backings, and wow, this is moving along very quickly. This doesn't take very long to make it all. And the secret is bring those points down, and you want to glide that tie under, but you do not want that tie knot above those 2 points that meet in the middle. And now after you've pressed that down, we're going to add glue dots to secure this. And I played around a little bit with this, and if you put it right at the peak, it doesn't look quite as nice, because when you have your shirt collar coming down over that tie knot, it raises up slightly. And if you have it at the very point, it won't raise. It'll be flat onto that. So now meet it and then press down each side, and that gives you that little bit of lift that you're looking for. So what's missing? Everyone know? Yep, you're right. It's our pocket. So we're going to add a glue dot on each one of our corners, and then also in the center of the portions that we removed. When you go to put this pocket on, do not make the mistake of putting it too high. Kind of have that bottom, bring it down towards that tie pin. And then we are going to gently press that on. We do not want to flatten it on because we've just worked to give all that shaping. The only thing missing now is our little buttons on our collar. So let's position those, and when you put these on, the most important thing is where you position it at on one side. Make sure you position it on the same on the other side. I know, nag, but we want it to look good, right? Okay, and this one I went with the lighter slate colored dots, and this one I went with the basic gray, and I used the orange for my tie pin on this one. And Then here again, I use the slate for my buttons for the collar. Well, I hope you'll make this. This is a fun project and really doesn't take long at all. Thank you until next time.